Welcome back, Wastelanders. This episode, I'm going to cover two knives, a die job from two knives. The first step is I got to take all the knives apart. Okay, I'm going to need a T6 and a T8. So I'm going to do a die job on this honey badger in D2, and I'm going to do it like a two-tone effect. I'm going to dye the scales red, and I'm going to use another media to coat the inside of the honeycomb pattern and probably the logo too. You bring out some detail. Want to H the blade on, probably not the D2. I don't want it to rust. I want it to look like it rusted. But I probably age this one because it's, so I'll have to get back to you on the aging of the steel. So I'm going to dye both of these scales red. So, because I dig red. So first off, I have to take it apart. So I'm sharing this video, a part of the video, because maybe somebody likes to see the knives apart. Cool. There's number 8 screws in the body too. That's always makes it easier to not jump between 6 and 8. Yeah. All right. Let's try to break these apart. I may have to take the clip off. I think it's the clip is in the back spacer. Oh yeah. Duh, I would have to take the clip off anyway to dye it. Sweet. So I know there was steel liners, but I couldn't see them. I didn't look at it that hard, but I figured it was countersunk in the handle. Okay. Super clean. And this answers my question, the bearings. I thought it was bearings because it was super great action. But you never know. Sometimes it's just washers. And these are what's get dyed. Hang with me while I pause and take the other knife apart. Okay. That's weird. I think it's a 8 on one side and a 6 on the other. For the pivot. All right. Ooh. All right. Nope. 6 for all the rest of the screws. That's kind of wild that both the knife scales I'm dying are in some kind of FRN plastic, and I'm not dying G10 at all. So, and they're both like tan, a little different tan color, but they're still basically both tan. I'll be curious if they come out different shades of red, but I'm going to primarily try to dye them the same time. Dye them at least 10 to 15 minutes and hope they turn out the same. Okay, I think this is a spacer for the clip. That if you want to move the clip to the other side, it's a spacer to fill the space, you know. This is quite greasy and dirty, so we'll have to do some cleaning. Yeah, this is plastic too. You can see the injection holes. All right. The spacer. Here's the liner. Screws are a pain in the ass. Okay, there's the clip, and finally the scales are free. And these are so lightweight. I'll probably edit this down because it's very long video. And next time you see, I will be dyeing all these scales and back spacers. Back with the next step. The next step, I have to thread some wire around there. This is aluminum wire. My cat decides to visit. Good thing he didn't visit when I was taking the knives apart. He usually does, and it turns out disastrous for me. Hey, stop. Okay, so these wires I use to, like, I'll clean up all this with alcohol, but I need to do the wiring first. Well, I don't need to do the wiring, but I choose to do the wiring first. But yeah, the next step would be to run alcohol and clean up all these parts to just, I don't know if it would cause spotting, but I clean up all the parts, all the grease and stuff before I dye them. You can see what I go through to do reviews. My cats are a pain. They're cute, but they're a pain in the ass. I can't even go to the bathroom without them in attendance. It's kind of freaky. My cats are, I think my cats are bonded to me, like you bond with a dog. I seem to have bonded with them, and they do everything with me. Especially him, especially Paxton. Yeah. Hey Paxton, you can't stop eating the aluminum wire. All right. Next step, I'll show you my setup I do for the aluminum bath. All right. You need to get down. You need to get down. All right. Okay, the next step is dyeing the knives. So I start out with a pot or pan. I don't know how many quarts it is, but it's pretty big. I think it's will hold 9 cups of water, or 10 cups of water, I think. So, and I use a beef stew can I got from Kroger a long time ago, and I use Rit Dye More Synthetic Racing Red. So I fill this cap up 4 times, and I use that amount of water. I don't know how much it is, but I use that amount of dye and 4 times in the cap and empty it in there, and that usually works for dyeing. I mean, I usually leave it in, I don't know, 15 minutes, 10 to 25 minutes. So I let that water boil, and that heats it up, and I drop all these things in and let set anywhere from 10 to 25 minutes, and I take them out every 5 minutes after 10 minutes and see how the color looks. So next I'll cut to me placing them in there. Okay, we're back. I think it's ready. It's about the right boiling temperature. I don't know if and sometimes I stir it up just to make sure I've already stirred it, but I'm just showing you why I stir it up before I dip things into it. This is a easier method to dyeing. Just use a can in a pot of boiling water rather than take a chance of ruining a pot. And it doesn't matter if the scales touch each other. I haven't found any reason to not jam as much in it as I can. Okay, and I'll check back with you in 10 minutes and see what color they are. I'll see how they are. You know, it might be done at 10 minutes. They took the dye really well. Yeah. Wow, it's quite nice. So next step, I usually wash them under cold water and look at them again, see if they are plenty dark or the right shade of, and if I'm happy with them, I'll get back to you with the next stage. I think they're a little bit darker than I wanted, and I probably should have taken them out at 5 minutes, but I think it will work with what I'm going to do to them. Just not that well, but because they're a little bit darker than when I planned. They almost look brown. Either I should have left them in there longer, or I shouldn't left them in there shorter. I don't know, but I'm gonna work with what they are right now, because I think the process of aging them, blending them with another color, will look better at the color they are now. So I don't know if I will get as much detail as I planned, but I'm gonna go with it for now. I think they're definitely a better color than what they were, tan. Yeah. Okay. Next time I'll show you maybe the next step of the coloring I do. So this is how this turned out. It's the Civivi Wyvern. You can see it turned out redder than the other one, and I managed to darken some of the crevices. I wish this had a black blade. I think it would look better with a black blade, but it doesn't. So the action's still good. The backspacer, I wish it wasn't plastic. It has no, it's just red, and I mixed some dark areas in it, but it's, unless you attack it with a Dremel, it's kind of plain. This is how the other one turned out, the honey badger. It's got red in it, but it's turned out more brown. So I've been thinking, when I dyed one other knife, a Tenacious handles that was tan, I dyed it for 20 minutes. So, and it turned out really red. So I'm thinking I should have did 20 minutes instead of 10 minutes. So, but I still like it. I think it looks brown, but I think it turned out nice. I mean, it's red, but it's red if you see it in person, but it looks like brown when I film it. So, and I'll take some pictures of these and post them to Instagram and tag them on under the video. But I like how it turned out. Yeah. So if you compare them, yeah, this looks more red and this looks more brown. So yeah, Wastelanders, this is been my project for this weekend. I may still do a review, but for now, this will have to do. You can see it looks red, but mostly brown. It's kind of, I wish it was more red, but I still like it. I think it turned out great. action's still good when I put it together. Civivi Wyvern too. This turned out fantastic, I think. This turned out way I liked, what I had planned. So, except for I don't like the backspacer because it's just a flat piece of plastic, and like I said, you have to take a Dremel to that to make it interesting. It's not very interesting. It's all black hardware. I'm surprised that I couldn't find an option for a black blade. It probably exists, but this was a hard knife to find. It was always out of stock. The only place I found it was Knives Plus. And I looked this up. It's D2 also. So that I plan to patina the blade, but thanks for watching. Sorry this is a long video. Hopefully you'll make it through it, or just skip through it. All right. Take care. Have a nice weekend, Wastelanders. Bye-bye.
Okay.